What's up, you guys? You're tuned into an all-new episode of Point of View. It is a Wednesday. It's hump day. Woo! You guys, how are we feeling today?
Amazing.
Good.
It's such a great day.
It is a beautiful day here.
I don't know, your wig look.
You know, I got my hair.
Girl, don't play with her.
No, she bought it. That's her hair.
Literally.
Once you buy it, it's yours.
Period. Exactly. But you guys, we have an exciting episode ahead of us, so let's just jump right into it. So a lot of people are questioning why a convicted felon is able to become president of the United States. For those of you who don't know, the 2024 election is coming up, and President Donald Trump, he's also the former president, is able to, basically run in the presidential election this year. And a lot of people are questioning this. A lot of people are also saying, if a convicted felon can run for president, why can't convicted felons get jobs easily?
Right.
Ladies, how do we feel about this?
Like, where do we start? Really and truly.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because I agree with, who was it? Kerry Washington?
Yes.
When she made that statement and she was talking about convicted felons, because we should definitely take that off applications.
Yes.
Period. Because how can he be the president again? And he has a mugshot. Like,
Not even a mugshot. He had like 13 counts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the mugshot for me. Like, you've been in jail.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
shouldn't be able to do anything just like any other regular convicted felon. You know what I'm saying? So why do the stipulations change when it's Donald Trump?
Right.
White.
No, listen,
You think that's what it is?
Oh, it's definitely.
I feel like it's
I think it's his bank
definitely-
account and his status, not just because he's white.
Yeah.
No, because if say
I think it plays a role.
Yeah.
I think it definitely plays a role, but I don't think it's the only reason.
Yeah, his status for sure gives him a big push, because there are even white convicted felons, that can't find jobs, or they're not eligible to vote and things like that. Now, they may have more privileges than a black felon, but
for sure.
nonetheless, they don't have the same privilege that Donald Trump has, and it's because of his status for sure.
Yeah, I think it is because of his status, but also I saw that Donald Trump had gotten immunity from some of his charges, and they have a clause or whatever that pretty much says that anything that was done while he was in office is pretty much like official presidential business. Yes, so all of these, a lot of these charges, like, I guess, what did he have? Something about pornography and, trying to sway votes and things like that. Even though he was, I guess, convicted of those things, he has immunity because it happened
During
when
his
he was,
presidency.
which is...
Oh, so if
that's
Obama
correct.
did it, then he would have been immune to that as well.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
so.
just trying to figure out, like, where we draw the line.
White.
Okay.
White.
Okay.
I think it's kind of a little funny to me that Kerry Washington, somebody who played a major role in Scandal, and he was just
all over the place.
He was out there, like doing, he was very scandalous. And I just thought, I'm like, it's crazy that she's the one to come out and say something.
Because that's not her real character.
No,
like,
for
that's
sure.
Just something a role that she played.
No, for sure. But at the same time, this is where a lot of people get mixed up. You have a convicted felon, right? A lot of applications are very tricky in their wording. They would say, have you ever been arrested? So they're skipping the whole, are you even a convicted felon? They're going straight to, have you ever been arrested? You could get arrested and charged to
You
get
could
dropped.
get arrested for, like, protesting,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it could be something
Riots
as simple as
and all
that,
type of
and then now you can't find a job,
Yeah.
Obviously, it depends on the state you live in. Different states have different stipulations and different laws and things like that. But, yeah, I don't think anybody should be granted immunity regardless of their status. But, unfortunately, that's the world we live in,
If that is the case, though, then you need to make it for everyone.
Yeah.
It shouldn't just be Donald Trump gets a pass. Like, no, give all the other felons who have been locked up before, let them be able to live their lives the way that they want to live their lives, because he want to be president again. And unfortunately, it might happen for him. But let these other criminals or, former criminals be able to move on with their lives too.
Can you imagine if we were all judged and treated according to what we've done in our past, all the mistakes we've done in our past, you know what I mean? And I know I'm saying this and, like, clearly Donald Trump made a mistake and, some people may think he should be forgiven for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when you are on the status of President of the United States, you should be held to a very different standard.
Yeah,
A very
right
high
next to the Pope.
standard.
I'm not gonna
Right-
lie. You right
exactly.
next to the Pope.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Pope is corrupt, so I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Everyone is corrupt.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they need to go through a different vetting process. Clearly, with situations like these, because I don't even know how he was even able to become president. At
Yeah,
first.
no, and I was also looking up, the requirements, to be a president. And I mean, it's basic things.
Oh,
like you
it's
have to
generic.
be born in the United States, older than 35. I mean, this has nothing to do with the content of your character or your criminal record. But it's just so funny to me.
Or your
because-
education.
Exactly. But it's so funny to me because Donald Trump, his word was criminal. Who did he not call a criminal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Right.
now for you to like legit be a criminal, I'm eager to see, how that changes. I pray that, let me not say how I feel about the election, but yeah, that's that.
One
I'm
thing I've
voting for
noticed
Kanye.
Girl, Kanye.
one thing I've noticed about Donald Trump, he would be the first person to point out what someone did wrong, what I mean,
Yeah.
or what someone did that wasn't right or whatever. But as soon as that happened to him, like when all the people had took over the White House, I forgot what when all that happened, he was like, oh, they're trying to convict me. He's a victim all of a sudden when it's like, okay, you did something wrong now.
Girl, that
like,
man is a joke.
yeah, it's like he's so out of touch with reality. I don't know if it's the rich boy thing in him
I
because
think
he's
he
like
thinks
been
that he's
born with
literally God. Like, I think that he thinks he's
genuinely
God.
believe
I
that
think
as
that he
well.
thinks that he's immortal. Like, I think that he really thinks that because he has this status and this money that he is untouchable. And the United States is literally showing him that that is who he is.
Yeah, I
like,
think
he
the
can
immunity
move
clause didn't
however he
help.
wants.
Yeah, I don't think that helped him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is very unfortunate. Yeah, but Donald Trump definitely does give dumb blonde.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, Biden has not stepped up to the plate to where you can feel like he's ready for another term of presidency. So now people are put in a position like,
just
oh my
struggling.
God, my poor man Biden, he can't even get up on the bike. But
But how would y'all feel if a millennial ran for president, like
Yeah.
against Donald Trump? Like, would you guys even give the millennial the chance,
I
or would you
would
just
go
say
for
like,
anybody
oh,
but Trump? Honestly.
I honestly would.
if they were obviously like if they were
yeah.
qualified, like not Joe
Oh,
from
yeah,
the corner
absolutely.
store.
We're not just
but
voting for
you know,
someone
like
just to
if
vote
they
for
had
someone.
if they had a certain level of intelligence and they had a certain level of integrity, or they at least showed that through whatever they've done thus far in their
Yeah.
career or life, would
And
y'all
they were
give
at least
that?
35.
Yeah, would you?
Yeah,
A
I
millennial.
absolutely would, yeah.
Would you give them opportunity? Like, would you actually go and vote for them?
Yeah, I would for
Yeah?
sure, 100%. I know I'm still a
It
millennial.
would be the
I may
millennial
be-
and Trump.
I'm going anybody
I mean, it
outside of
depends
Trump.
on their
I'm going for
policy, obviously.
whoever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just like
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, it would obviously depend on their policy and things like that. But I feel like they would be a little bit more in touch with reality
Yeah,
a little,
yeah.
and it would be a lot more relatable. And I
Right.
do feel like there are more younger people in the world than older people.
Mm-hmm.
So or younger people that are vote, honestly, because
Mm-hmm.
now the younger generation is woke, even though some of the younger generation don't, because they're in that Gen Z and young millennial mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I would, because I feel like they would be a little bit more relatable and more in touch with what's
bit
going
more
on today.
understanding.
Yeah, a little bit more understanding, you know what I mean? And honestly, think about it, with millennials, the boomers, like the world is effed because of boomers.
Yeah.
And millennials, we figured it out. Like, I know Gen X didn't really get the full blow of what Generation Boomer did to the United States.
Yeah.
But we figured it out. We now have younger millionaires.
Yeah.
We now have younger entrepreneurs. There's so many entrepreneurs, and we're just,
Figuring it
yeah,
out.
But on
I feel
that
like we're a little
point-
bit more equipped, and we use our resources a little bit more wisely than.
On that
I
point,
agree,
though,
yeah.
it's more of people are leaning towards voting for Trump because people want all of that money he was giving away.
Because he's a
see-
criminal, so he knows how to
Absolutely.
siphon money. So it was easier for a lot of younger people to start businesses and to figure out, how to maneuver tax brackets and
Y'all want
different things
$1,000
like
that bad?
It was
was
more than
not
that.
more
He
than-
really
it was way
did a
more
lot
than
for business
$1,000.
owners. Yeah, he really did a lot for business owners.
lot
But
of
at
small
the end of the
businesses.
day, I just feel like, you know, we just have to definitely touch on and expound on a little bit how unfair it is that, you know, Donald Trump is still able to run for presidency, even though he has this immunity clause. But it's just like, you know, often when you are a convicted felon, you know, you have to give up, you know, political licenses and titles, and, you know, you can't hold certain offices, and there's so many things that you can't do. So I just feel like that's unfortunate, you know, coming from a predominantly Black community and, you know, seeing so many people that are affected by, you know, even being convicted felons for some of the worst,
I know.
in the easiest felons, you know, that is something that follows them for the rest of their life,
Yeah.
and it controls where they can live, where they can work, their quality of life.
Yeah.
So it is very
They're judged by
unfair.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember on a previous episode, you guys, you can catch our previous episodes on YouTube. A previous episode, we talked about the judge in Georgia who got
Yes.
benched because she physically assaulted a police officer.
Right,
You know,
a standard. We had a standard
exactly. There was a standard that was set for her, yes, but the
she
fact that
received a
she
consequence.
lost her job, her,
And he
Yeah.
was in plain clothes, I believe.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was literally in civilian clothing.
Yeah.
And she literally got benched, you know? And
There was a consequence to
There
her
was a
action,
consequence to
but
her
what was
action.
the consequence? We're literally rewarding Trump.
yeah.
100%, because he only did weekends in jail for a little bit.
Yeah.
He only did weekends, and his jail cell was very cozy.
That's
and it was and
really
it didn't
crazy.
last
He was
long.
probably
yeah.
at his house.
Yeah.
Honestly, he probably was on house arrest and
That's
put the
really
bracelet on his
crazy.
dog or something, honestly. Who knows? Yeah. But nonetheless, you guys, for sure, do your research. And I think yesterday we touched on the subject of Search Project 2025 and enlighten yourself. And you guys go out and vote. I promise you guys that your vote makes a difference and it counts. But you guys, we have to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching POV. Welcome back, and if you're just now tuning in, you're watching POV. So this next topic has sparked a lot of debate on social media. Oklahoma's top education officials just announced that all public schools must teach the Bible and the 10 Commandments.
Amen.
This mandate was put into place only weeks after Louisiana decided to display the 10 Commandments in classroom. So ladies, how do we feel about that? Thou shalt not kill. Thou
shalt not covet, thou shalt not steal, all of that. I think it's
shall not teach that in school unless it is a Catholic school or a school where that is supposed to be happening.
No,
in
I don't
public
agree.
schools, I think that is absurd and crazy because you don't know what religion people are teaching in their households. We have so many different religions here in the United States. How are you forcing? I talk about this all the time. I really dislike, don't say the word hate, guys. I really dislike when people force religion onto other people because you don't know everybody's beliefs.
Yeah.
Right,
So
but it's
I feel
okay
like that's
for them
wrong.
to teach evolution, which I don't believe. I was a Christian. I don't believe in evolution. So you're saying we came from monkeys? Why we still got monkeys? Are they undeveloped humans? So that's just my thing. Like, we got taught all of these different things in school that is against my belief. I don't believe in the Big Bang Theory. I believe in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know, so why is it okay for them to teach those things, but all they're saying is, you know, this can be added to the curriculum, and then the 10 Commandments. I'm telling you, the 10 Commandments are like just a basic set of rules that
No, I
every
know what
human
it
should
is.
live.
Yeah.
Every human should live by. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill.
I think
you know,
it should
it's
be
basic.
optional. The 10 Commandments, I see that. The Bible, I think it should be optional because you don't know where people come from
Right.
or what they believe
I get
in.
where you're coming from because there are people who come from a Muslim background or
All types. We have so many different religions here.
There's so many different religions, so I understand that standpoint. Like, you know, what if back at home, like they are Hindi, you know, and or Muslim, and they don't believe in this. However, the 10 Commandments, I do see it as like, I think it's just like a basic thing. Like, honestly, everybody should follow that. You know, if you just want to be a good person in life, I think that.
But everybody's not.
Regardless of your religion, I think, and honestly, I actually did take a religion class for a little bit, and a lot of religions do kind of like have the same basic morals and values, and the 10 Commandments does go with that. As far as the teaching the Bible in school, I personally don't have an issue with that, only because like when you look at literature classes, you know, they're doing Shakespeare and they're doing it in story format, and they're doing like, you know, other books and other forms of literature. If you see it from a standpoint of this is just another form of literature, if they're teaching it in that way, like this is, you know, just a form of literature and then you're just asking questions in that form, then I see how that could be justifiable.
How?
However, if it's, well, because it's a form of literature, the Bible is, at the end of the day, is still also a form of literature. You don't have to tell these, like, the students to believe it. You know,
I think that is the route that they would go.
If they choose to believe it growing up, then that's them. We all have our own path in the world, you know, and I think the American basic standard, I guess, is Christianity, you know, even on the dollar bill.
One nation under God.
Yeah, one nation under God. The Pledge of Allegiance, even the national anthem, you know.
The Pledge of Allegiance was a problem once upon a time.
It was,
because
yes.
it literally says under God.
Yeah.
And that was an issue at one point.
But that's why they want to teach
know.
it. It is a form of literature, but also you cannot separate state from church. You know, so it's a lot of the things that
What do
they're
you
going to
mean you can't separate state from church?
So a lot of the things that you learn in history class, you know, it's based off of the Bible. There are a lot of stories, and honestly, a lot of Christians believe that the Bible repeats itself. All of the stuff that we're going through, everything that you've seen in our society today, it's already been done.
Very
and
true.
It's just it's all, the Bible is stories. It's stories of what people have done and the effects of it. Yes, the wrath of God was a whole lot more.
But you also see how he grows, you know, over time in the Bible as well, and how, you know, even Jesus grew, and how everybody that has their own story, how they grow over time. And I think if we look at it from a standpoint of this is a piece of literature and maybe life lessons, rather than just this is a religion, I think it could change a lot of people's, like, you know, standpoint for sure.
I also think that, you know, I feel like it is on time. Just because of where the world is today, the culture, the society of people, how people are, how they think, how they're self-centered, how they don't respect their mothers or fear authority in any sense. So I feel like the Bible is a great principle, you know, that has teachings that can at least make you a good person. I know a lot of people that have grew up in church because it was by force, and maybe leaning on their own understanding or whatever information they got when they got older, they may have strayed away from church. And even if they choose now to not accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, they're still fundamentally good people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I live my life thinking that I'd rather live my whole life following this book or trying to follow this book and, thinking that Jesus is real, and in the end find out that he's not, and I'm following basic principles: thou shalt not kill, steal, covet, remember the Sabbath, keep it holy, have no other God before me, these things. And if, God forbid, Jesus is not real, I still would probably go where good people go.
Yeah.
But if you're not following any of those things and you don't have any real governing factors to your life, where do you go? What happens if you think that you can do whatever you want because it's just all about you and there's no real consequences, or as long as you feel good at night and you sleep with yourself? At the end of the day, the fact is that we did not create this universe. We did not create ourselves. When you think about the complex intricacies of our body, it had to have come from somewhere. And if we are here now, there has to be something after this. And I feel like following the Bible and the 10 Commandments will put you on a pretty good track to go where good people go.
Yeah. Right. I completely agree with
Junie.
that.
So would we be upset if it was
Tally.
the Torah we were teaching in school? Would we be upset? Are we upset because it's the Bible?
I wouldn't be upset if it was, this is me personally, I wouldn't be upset only because I have taken a religion class, and you do have to learn like every, it's a religion class. You learn every religion, because when I tell you guys, if you literally go, it all merges like into one another, honestly. And fun fact, Jesus is in almost every story in every religion too. But so that's how I know he's real. That's like how I believe him, and on top of what I feel and what I've went through. Right. But nonetheless, like, just take religion out of it, and even go as far as to just take the prayer out of it with classes. I don't see them making students pray. I see them just saying like, hey, can you read this story, and I'm going to ask you questions about it, and then there's going to be a quiz, and then that's it. I don't see them like making them pray every morning, or before lunch or over their food. I personally don't see it.
Right, but
I just don't agree, because I feel like everybody has their own journey. Like, I understand, like, it may be you three journey to, teach the Bible to your kids and all of that, but what if this next person over here believes that their family believes that they are atheists and they don't believe in God?
Yeah.
How is that fair to that family to send their child to a public school where it's supposed to be public, when they have Christian schools where they actually teach this type of religion or anything else that has to do with surrounding Christianity or that religion specifically? They have schools for that. So why
there's
are
a lot of
we
people who also don't believe in folklore or fake non-fictional, things, but we have non-fictional books in school. You know what I mean?
And but it's not like you're not forcing religion on them. Like, religion, I feel like, is a serious thing. Like, you don't play about your spirituality, or you don't play about, your prayers or your faith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I feel like folklore or whatever else that is,
stories,
it's fake. You know what I'm saying? And that it's fake, so nobody really believes that it's real.
There are people who believe that
people
it's real.
believe Jesus is fake
Take
too.
it from somebody who literally took a religion class, and I studied other religions. I still, at the end of the day, chose, what I believe. I have studied other religions, and I still chose what I believe, which is Jesus.
But also, I feel like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. When I think about how much information can you guys think about that we got in school that you actually use, like, in your real life? Like, what percentage? Like, low-key, if I think about it, it's, I mean, legit. Like, if you think about going to school on a basic level, we're not talking about, furthering your education, no college, any outside, classes. But for what you learn in school, all those 12 years, we're probably using 10% of that. So if Christianity or the Bible being taught in class, if it's something that does not resonate with you, throw it away with the rest of the stuff you're going to throw away.
And then they fail. Because they don't want to.
No, you have to retain the information to pass the test, but you're not retaining. I mean,
that's forcing that onto somebody. To say that they might fail a grade or be left back because they don't want to study the Bible is crazy.
There are a lot of things that I learned in school when they were not teaching us, you know, the proper Black history, when we were having to learn about all these lies of Christopher Columbus and all these other people.
But you didn't know it was a lie until after
I
you did
always
your own
knew that it was a
research.
lie. I always knew that it was a lie because my mom always made us do our own research at home. So
Yeah.
before I knew
Okay.
that this is not how the story goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you shouldn't go. I feel like honestly, at the end of the day, you shouldn't go about life using only what you have been told. You should go out and
That's how most
find that
religions start, though.
information.
Like somebody told you about Christianity. Somebody
Okay.
wrote the Bible. You
Yeah,
know what
but
I'm
not-
saying?
what
Like,
she's saying is not
somebody
going off-
gave that to you to believe in.
And then at some point, you have to study to show yourself approved. And if you have a personal relationship with God at some point, or you feel like you have a personal encounter, then you probably keep it. But if it's just what someone told you, I'm telling you, I know plenty of people that went just off of what they were told, and they never had that encounter. Maybe they never saw it or whatever happened. They didn't feel like that was revealed to them, and they have put it away.
Yeah.
They're not still walking out here believing in something that they have not felt, that they have not seen for real in their life, in your
This
adult
is
life.
public schools we're talking about. Like, we're not just talking about your personal experience or yours or
Yeah.
yours. We're talking about public schools. This could be something that goes nationwide.
If it
and
does,
I'm just saying
hallelujah.
that I don't
Thank
agree
you,
with
Jesus.
it. I don't
I
agree
mean,
with
there's
it.
stories about Santa Claus that I've read in school, and I would hope there's no grown adults that
Coming out my little
Yeah.
chimney. Like, what? I don't get
There's
presents because I don't got a chimney?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys, tomorrow is 4th of July. I want to wish everybody a happy 4th. For sure, make sure you guys are safe. Nobody blow your hand off. That happens a lot, believe it or not. But you guys, we are running out of time. Catch us back here tomorrow here at Afro TV. Bye.